Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just watched a 2023 film called Evie. This is a horror mystery. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes long. This was on Tubi. It's also on Vudu and Prime. I watched it on Tubi. This released in December of 2023, so it's not too old. Written and directed by Dominic Brunt and Jamie Lundy. And it stars, it's a very small cast um, of main characters. Evie, played by Holli Dempsey. Jay Taylor plays Tony. And there is a Father Robert, played by Michael Smiley. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Evie is at the beginning of this movie a young girl, and Tony is her brother. So we start off with, I guess we would consider it a flashback. It's not really introduced to us as a flashback. Let me read the official synopsis. On a beach, young Evie finds an accursed necklace, unwittingly freeing an evil water demon intent on claiming her and loved ones. So yeah, so the family's at the beach. They're doing like family beach kind of stuff, and then we kind of cut away from the beach after Evie finds the necklace, and she kind of gets into a little bit of a fight with her brother. Then we forward to Evie interacting with school and parents, and there's a notable difference in Evie. She's very much more on edge. She's very defiant. She is a bit off. She's a little off. And then we kind of fast forward. There's a lot more stuff there that I left out because I don't want to spoil it. But then we come into um, like the present day, I would say, and we meet the adult version of Evie. Um, and she's at work. She's got a friend. She's trying to start dating. It becomes a very, very slow paced movie at this point. Um, there's sprinklings of some flashbacks that are kind of filling in the gaps for us. Um, things kind of pick up a little bit when, um, well, we find out Evie was adopted. So that threw me off. Um, we find out she's adopted, so she's kind of like filling in the gaps from that as well. Um, with the flashbacks, there's a lot of really beautiful imagery with water, underwater, above water, um, lots of water imagery. And I'm thinking we're watching a movie where, it's a possessed object. The necklace is the possessed object, because I watch a lot of movies about hauntings and things like that. Um, but it turns into something a little bit bigger than that, a little bit better. I was actually kind of surprised and happy. I will share with you the Scottish legend of what a selkie is, a mythological creature that can transform from seal to human form. Um, and we find out about a selkie because we get a reuniting of Evie and her brother Tony, as adults. They find each other after Evie had been living away because she was put up for adoption. And Tony had become a writer. One of the books that he wrote was about a selkie. He gives her the book, and he's trying to trigger memories. He's trying to get a response from her about this. She doesn't seem to have a response to it other than, "Oh, that's a very big book. I don't know if I can read that." She's kind of thinking to herself. Um, so Tony, in an effort to kind of get her memory to spark a little bit more, invites her to stay with him at the old family cottage that was on the beach. And yeah, that's when things get really interesting. Again, I thought this was going to be like a possessed object kind of thing that kind of takes over a person and whatnot. And I suppose it's kind of like that, but it's a little bit bigger. The selkie part of it kind of comes into play a lot more at the ending. It's one of those movies where it's so slow that if you're not paying attention to little things, um, it can seem like very boring. But then at the end, it's one of those montages of reveals. They 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 flash back to all these points in the movie where we were supposed to not necessarily notice, but notice, and then things all kind of fall into place. Or um, what films do like this, where we'll get at the end of the movie like the reveal of what's going on, and then we flash back to scenes in the movie that happened already, but then they continue that scene, where when we saw it the first time it would cut at a certain point, so we didn't see the rest of the scene. But then now in this flashback montage to explain all the things that have happened or that are going on, we see a little bit more of the extended scene, and we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Why we didn't see that character again. Yeah, so there's some really fun stuff in this. I did not hate this movie. It's kind of one of those slow movies. It was neat to see this um, Scottish folklore, urban legend kind of a film that I wasn't expecting. I thought I was, like I said, getting more into a haunting possession movie, but it turned into more of urban legend, folklore, which is cool too. Monster, creature, feature, whatever you want to call it. It's on Tubi, Vudu, and Prime if you want to check it out. It's just Evie, and it's relatively new film, December 2023. Let me know in the comments down below if you checked this out, and have a great day.
Row 18, plot 20.